Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi to everyone. This is a historical event for us. This is one of the first episodes for Muslim Leadership Council of San Diego. We are putting this together with all of the technology available to us. This will be something to remember in the future. My name, of course, is Adib Mahdi. I'm on the executive board of the Muslim Leadership Council. And I want to just welcome everyone once again to our Under the Umbrella session today. The program, of course, is an opportunity for us to get to know one another, particularly for the members of the community that will be viewing this with us today, to get to know the executive board of the Muslim Leadership Council, and also to get some feedback from the Muslim Leadership Council in the things and situations that we are privy to in the community. The second most important thing is for our membership. The Muslim Leadership Council right now has about 25 members, and under this umbrella, where we all gather to share resources, to share guidance points, to support one another, it's an opportunity for us to dig a little deeper with each organization and understand what that organization's challenges and successes are throughout the community. So with that, the first thing we want to do in this environment that we are in today, the COVID environment, COVID-19, I'm going to defer to my sister Ismahan to give us an update on the current situation with COVID-19. We know it changes every day. We know that restrictions and all of these types of things happen every day. So Sister Ismahan, if you will, please give us an update on what's current so far.
Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Adib. It's such an honor for all of us to be here in conversation. And currently right now with the COVID-19 pandemic that we've been faced with in the past couple of months, subhanAllah, we are seeing over 2.1 million cases worldwide. And just looking at the numbers in the United States, that has been increasing steadily. A lot of states that have taken those early measures of stay-at-home quarantine orders and advice are seeing kind of a flattening of that curve, for example, here in California. So alhamdulillah, while things seem to be improving, the cases are still there. Here locally in San Diego specifically, we have seen a little bit of an uptick of cases. So far we have about 2,158 cases as of today, and 70 people who passed away. Compare that to the early stages when we were seeing just a couple of folks who were infected. So right now, the cases are still increasing. The stay-at-home measures have been in effect, and a lot of CDC advice as well as guidelines for medical professionals have recommended that folks wear masks as they're leaving the house for essential needs such as grocery shopping, going to the pharmacist to pick up medication and whatnot. So when you are going outside, make sure it's based on a necessity. And folks are avoiding beaches and parks and gathering spaces. So this is not the time for us to really endanger ourselves, endanger our loved ones, and also endanger the larger community. So just the numbers are still increasing. There's no vaccine. There's a lot of things that are being developed as we speak, but until we see the light at the end of the tunnel, let's continue to follow our state's orders here in California, and also the San Diego County advice of staying at home and making sure that we're taking advantage of this time to protect ourselves and our loved ones, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah, indeed. Yes, if we could all just do that, I mean, it's amazing how that helps tremendously. And so, inshallah, we can take heed to that and, abide by those rules. The next thing we want to do is we want to get a bit of an update from Sister Ruhi about a couple of programs that Muslim Leadership Council has been working on since this shutdown has happened. One in particular is in a community giving that we've been doing. So I'll let Sister Ruhi bring us up to date on that. Sister Ruhi, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Brother Adib, for providing the introduction, and also Sister Ismahan for giving the update on the current situation. So, alhamdulillah, MLCSD has been running some programs, and we have talked about our free warm meal program in our previous videos as well. And today I would like to update you on this program. So which is we provide free warm meals during this time to our healthcare professionals, our first responders, our seniors, and also to our impacted San Diegans. And up till now, we have provided about more than 2,500 meals. They have been delivered to their in their homes, and because many times they are not able to go and pick up the food, so most of the meals are delivered to them. And it's about 200 to 250 meals that go out every day. And to support this program and to continue this program, we do need your help and we do need your support. And you can help us by volunteering, and also we need donations to run this program, to continue this program, to feed our seniors, our healthcare professionals with these warm meals. Soon we are going to start our crowdfunding program. It's going to be through Good Bricks, and inshallah, to get an update, log into our website www.mlcsd.org, and also on Facebook. So inshallah, you'll see an update. Please help us. Please support us.
Alhamdulillah. Now, is that program, the crowdfunding, is it starting what, in the next week or so, or how soon do you anticipate it to happen?
Inshallah, we are planning to start as soon as possible, within a couple of days, inshallah.
Inshallah. And we want to note too that the meals that we are providing to those who are impacted, it's not just the Muslim community. I mean, this is an effort that we're making. You might want to share a little bit about that, how this has happened and who's in it.
Through these programs, we are also providing meals that are going to non-Muslim community. So especially there are unsheltered folks that are, they need the food and they have need warm meals. So we are providing to our non-Muslim community too, which is, alhamdulillah, it's one way of doing a dawah. And many times folks who are receiving the food, this is just their only meal that they are receiving for that day.
It's interesting that even there are still people that are only having, without just us providing a meal to them, I mean, what would they have? So, alhamdulillah, we're able to do this and reach out and reach all parts of San Diego. I know we are delivering food and serving folks that are as far south as far north and east and west, in fact, in San Diego. So inshallah, we can get more support from our community members to help us keep this going so that we can continue to have that sort of connection with the community in general. So alhamdulillah, appreciate that, Sister Ruhi. We will always continue to update folks as we go through. What we want to do tonight, we have two special guests, members of the Muslim Leadership Council. We have Brother Hatem from PANA joining us tonight. And we also have Brother Musaddiq from MCS, Muslim Community Services. So first thing I want to do, Brother Hatem, is just, can you summarize for us a bit about yourself and the organization and some of the things that you're doing in this environment and the services you're providing for us, please?
Thank you for organizing this event and for inviting me here, inviting PANA. My name is Hatem Muhtasib. I'm the regional organizer for the Partnership of the Advancement of New Americans. PANA is an organization that is dedicated and committed to build community power for our refugee and immigrant community here in San Diego. PANA uses advocacy and policy as tools to build power for our community. So we engage in different kind of initiatives and projects, campaigns to build this power that we're talking about, whether it's advocating for more affordable housing here for our community, pushing policies to end surveillance on our community, for example, the Muslim community and refugee community here in San Diego. So those are some of the things that we do. For me personally in PANA as the regional organizer, before COVID-19 and the shift that happened, I was working or leading the Refugee and Immigrant Census Hub It's a hub of 15 plus community organizations here in San Diego that work with different refugee and immigrant communities. And as PANA, we were making sure and we were convening those organizations to make sure that our community is engaging in census and participating in census. And I'll use this opportunity to also remind our community members that census is up, it's happening, and it's really important for our community to be counted and to participate to continue building this power that we're talking about for our community.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Let me ask you now, PANA is not a new organization to San Diego, and PANA has been doing this work for a long time. You might want to just share with us a little bit about how long PANA has been around and what your sense of how it's affected the community is.
Yeah. So PANA just turned 5 years old a few months ago, and that was huge for us. So alhamdulillah, we have been doing this work for 5 years. Based in City Heights, but of course we do work regionally throughout San Diego, supporting again our refugee and immigrant community. So we're not like an old organization, but we're 5 years old, so we're still growing. We're still trying to do more and more for our community members here. And really build equitable and dignified life for our community, inshallah.
Inshallah. PANA, 5 years is it seems like a short period of time, but with the impact that PANA has made, you would think that PANA has been around for 15, 20 years. Mashallah, your organization does tremendous work in the community. I'm sure the community appreciates everything that PANA does. So we're glad to have you as a member of the MLC, and we want to continue to check in with you and see what needs that your organization are dealing with that maybe other members in the Muslim Leadership Council can support you with and help you with. Brings me to my brother here, Musaddiq. I've known for quite a while, and we've crossed paths in many different places. But Musaddiq, everyone doesn't know you like I do, so share with us what your organization does, what you serve, who you serve, and these types of things, please. I think you have to undo your mic there.
Sorry. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu
alaikum.
Jazakallah for the invitation. It's my pleasure to share with you a little bit about MCS. Basically, so to introduce MCS, we are a social service organization. Our mission is to strive for the pleasure of Allah by providing social service to individuals and families within San Diego County, encouraging Muslims to serve the community, conducting events and programs that are consistent with the principles of Islam. And my name is Musaddiq. I happen to be the president of MCS. MCS is a fairly old organization in that sense. We were registered as a 501c3 in 2006, but really the work started even before that. So our focus is on leveraging zakat as a means of community empowerment and ensuring that zakat truly reaches those that it is meant for, and ensuring that there's due diligence around the collection and distribution of zakat. And so zakat, sadaqah, zakat al-fitr, those are the areas we focus on. And we've been doing this for a number of years. As you can see, alhamdulillah, we've earned the trust of the community, and we continue to get the support. Our funding source is mainly the Muslim community. Besides zakat and so making sure that families and individuals that need financial assistance, whether it's for rent or utility or gas or food, have access. Oftentimes the community's zakat is their first line of defense against homelessness, against hunger, against sheer poverty. Making sure that the community is there for them, and this is essentially a fard kifaya that we hope to be able to fulfill on behalf of the community. So besides that, we do focus on some other areas. Mental health is an area we think is very much underserved in the community, and we've been doing some programs on and off. We've taken that on now as a separate sort of field of MCS's social services endeavor. And I'm happy to share that we are about to initiate a counseling service within MCS, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. So your organization provides, I would say, counseling and family counseling and individual counseling as well.
Yes, yes. We are about to start that. In the past, we've done programs as in seminars and, lectures around mental health. But now we hope to be able to provide counseling services to individuals and families that, wouldn't necessarily think about counseling or wouldn't know how to get it or wouldn't be able to afford it. MCS is going to be able to provide them professional counseling services, inshallah. And then annually we have some programs that we run, such as the annual school supply drive, where we provide school supplies to children from needy families. We have the Eid Toy Drive, inshallah. We have to figure out how to do that this year, and things like that, right? Last year we had a blanket drive as well. So we do these drives on and off, but our core focus and our core service is essentially around zakat and sadaqah. We also help families with in-kind donations. So we try to be sort of the bridge between people who want to donate their furniture and appliances and sometimes clothes that are in good condition with families that need them. So we've been doing that as well for a number of years.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah. I think Sister Ruhi, you had a question that you wanted to ask.
Yeah, brother, I would like to ask you, especially during this COVID-19 situation, how has this pandemic impacted you and your organization, and what are the services that you are offering to help the community during this time?
Sure. So with the COVID-19 situation, obviously the requests for financial assistance have gone up. And our staff, we are really fortunate to have two very dedicated staff members, Sister Wafa and Sister Anna Maria. Both are working really hard to manage the increased workload. Besides that, recognizing that, the need is so much out there in terms of people whose livelihood has been impacted, and the fact that they may not even have access to basic necessities or the resources to get basic necessities. We've just initiated a groceries voucher program, which is, so basically the idea is that, the food they may get from food banks might not either suffice or might not be the type of food that they want to be able to meet their needs in Ramadan and beyond. So we've partnered with halal grocery stores to give each family a voucher that they can use to go and buy the groceries that they want from the halal meat store. And in some cases, we made exceptions where people felt that they wanted to go for food for less or something like that. We've given them those vouchers as well. But the idea is to make sure that people have basic provision for Ramadan. And the amount on the voucher is proportional to the size of the family. In order to make sure that the needy families that we serve are not just limited to the families that MCS is aware of, but also other families that may not be on our radar. And so we've reached out to other organizations like Masjid Noor, for example, Pillars of the Community, and other people that we know are directly engaged in social services, and got their people on the list as well, Masjid Salam. So we've compiled a big list of people, alhamdulillah, that we are now starting to give out vouchers to. And inshallah, we expect to have one more round sometime in Ramadan, hopefully, with the money we'll get for the Zakat al-Fitr, inshallah.
Inshallah. Very good, brother. That's very good to hear. I believe, Sister Ismahan, did you have a question or comment for our guests?
Yes, but before I do that, I want to hear from Brother Hatim as well. I think, yeah, that's what Sister Rahul said.
Yeah,
they're doing amazing work. Go ahead, Sister Rahul.
How has this pandemic affected you, and what are the services that you are providing to the community?
For sure. So, as you all mentioned, with COVID-19, we all know the economic hardship that a lot of our people are facing right now. So as a community-based organization, we had to respond to those needs. So PANA, with the partnership of the Islamic Center of San Diego, United Women of East Africa, and Karen.org, we launched the COVID-19 Emergency Fund, which is a fund that is trying to support community members with financial support, basically, to cover rent, bills. It's a one-time grant or support for our members. Alhamdulillah, we received more than 100 applications, and we supported 100 families so far, and we're continuing to receive applications and to provide the support for our community members. Another thing that we're doing, the entire staff at PANA shifted the work to respond to those needs. So we're also helping with filing for unemployment, for example, and connecting people with different resources. We're part of the MLC, for example, and we know the different members in MLC, the different kind of work that they do, and the resources that they provide. So we're also connecting community members to different resources. And we're also right now partnering with the Islamic Center of San Diego and United Women of East Africa to distribute food baskets that includes essential food items, inshallah, at the beginning of Ramadan. And we're also happy to coordinate with you all on this, because I know those are the things that most of the organizations are trying to do, because the need is huge. And it's great to have a space like MLC where we can, at least coordinate with each other and learn about the different kind of work that we're doing. So this is.
It has been very helpful to see all these organizations coordinating with each other. And thank you so much for coordinating for all these needs that we have through other organizations. Jazakallah khair.
Yes. Jazakallah khair on that. Very good. And Sister Ismahan, again, you had a question or a point that you want to make?
Yes, so Jazakumullah khairan, both Brother Musaddiq and Brother Hatim. SubhanAllah, I've known MCS and the efforts that y'all have been doing for so many years. Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless you. And Hatim, as you know, is part of PANA since its like early inception, and just for 3 years of being there and just kind of like running a lot of the programs over there. So great, keep up the great work, mashallah, for both of you. So my question is really centered around, just now that we talked a little bit about, just introducing your organizations and the different services that you provide, as well as COVID-19 pandemic, and how are we rising to that occasion? Like you said, so many organizations have been stepping up, like both of you, and coordinating, and just the work that has been happening. So I kind of want to change the conversation a little bit. We're almost a week away from Ramadan. And as we know, as the needs definitely grow, and as we try our best to kind of cover the basis for a lot of the community and family members that are in need, what are some of your hopes and concerns for the community? So we're not talking about services, we're not talking about, the organizational aspect of things, but you personally, just what are some of your hopes and concerns, inshallah, heading into Ramadan, and what's the message that you want to give?
Brother Musaddiq.
Okay. So basically, in terms of concern, we've seen, right, a number of clients who've been impacted in terms of their livelihood. People who are driving Uber cars, for example, and Uber service, and just not making enough because there are not many people are using the service. The big concern is, what will happen when either the money that they get from the stimulus package runs out, and those resources that they are tapping into run out, and we've not reopened the economy. And so that's a huge concern. So any assistance they may get from MCS or from the federal government is really only a very, very short-term measure, right? It's not gonna last too long. And the big concern is what happens next after that. I don't necessarily have an answer to that question. Obviously, we're all praying that things get back to normal as soon as possible. But in the sense of people's livelihood being impacted, the situation could get really dire, in a month. For some people it already is, but in a month it might get really worse.
Mm.
And with respect to Ramadan, and especially what MCS is doing, one of the things we are looking into is tapping into grant opportunities. So we partnered with Somali Family Services and Give San Diego to file a joint application for a grant from San Diego Foundation. We haven't heard back anything yet, but we really need that. We really need to tap into these other sources of funding. So that my hope is that those alternative sources of funding actually are realized, and we are able to continue meeting the needs of the community.
Yeah.
What is your hope, before we move on to Brother Hatim? Your hope.
Yeah, my hope is, alhamdulillah, the community every year has been very supportive of everything that, both MCS and other organizations have been doing. And really, this is the time to step up the support for not just MCS, but all the organizations. And my hope is that the community does that this year as well, especially because Ramadan is the time, when most of the organizations are dependent on the funding they get from the community. So that's my hope.
Brother Hatem?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of things to add on what the brother said. Most important thing, of course, is the safety and the well-being of our community members. It's a tough situation, and hopefully this will end soon. The vaccine will be developed and everything will go back to normal. This is the first time, I don't know, for me, experiencing something like this, especially during Ramadan, not having a masjid open, all of those things. Also Ramadan is a time where we socialize, we meet our family, friends, and all of those things. So for PANA, we're hoping to continue to support our community members economically. We're going to do our best to meet the needs of our community with the help of the other community organizations, but also socially. And I'm sure a lot of our masajid and institutions are planning different virtual programs for our communities. And also for PANA, we're gonna organize different webinars to continue as much as we can engaging with our community members and providing different services, basically. And my hope is to, inshallah, soon we'll end from this situation, and inshallah, everyone will stay safe during this time.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah, we Jazakallah khair to both of you brothers. We know that all of us are, if not volunteers, we're barely paid for what we do, but we do it for the sake of Allah, and that's our real energy. So we appreciate, what your organizations are doing, the struggle and the battles that you face every day as an organization trying to serve the community. That's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of tough work to do. Your individuals and your organizations are those types of organizations that are on the front line, as they say, and dealing with this every day. Tomorrow is a whole different challenge with a whole different set of circumstances, because challenges and circumstances are changing every day for the individuals affected as well. So inshallah, we can all make that happen and keep that up as far as what we're doing and what we're trying to do individually. Sister Ruhi, I think you had some comments that you wanted to make as well.
I totally agree with what you're saying, Brother Adib. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for sharing your thoughts and open into what your organization usually is doing and how much hard work you're doing and contributing towards the community, and also sharing what you're doing this time where our community really needs you. And thank you so much. And I would also like to thank to all of you who have tuned in and you're watching this video. This is learning more about Under the Umbrella, which is the initiative by MLCSD to bring you different updates of our programs that are happening, and also a good introduction and learning more about our member organizations. So alhamdulillah, thank you everyone. Please tune in to watch next week about more organizations and also updates on our programs. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah. So again, we want to close out our show. These updates and these introductions to the community are just brief, but we hope it's just enough information to entice everyone to stay alert, stay involved. We pray Allah will grant us the clearance and the clarity, I should say, and the energy to proceed and to continue what we're doing in this struggle that we're in now, that we'll be blessed with success in our endeavors, inshallah, and that we will make this period of time easy for those that are really suffering, and keep ourselves, of course, healthy and safe as well, so that we can continue to do this work, inshallah. So I want to thank you, brothers, again for coming, for joining us. We'll be in touch. We want you to keep in touch with us as members, and inshallah, we can have other guests and members on and share more resources and more success stories from other organizations, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for your time. Inshallah, we'll see you soon, and hopefully soon we can see each other personally and shake hands and hug, inshallah. Thank you, brothers.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.